Okay, so for invention, we kind of call that, I guess, brainstorming nowadays. For your for any research project, but I'm going to focus this on your ethnography assignment. You're going to be profiling this group, ethnography, or I guess I can also call it like a group kind of profile. It's not going to go into too much depth, but I want you to get a sense of the different kinds of practices and the kind of writing and organization that's used by ethnographers. So the first thing is, in terms of invention, is how do you come up with an appropriate subject to profile? So I'm going to go through a few activities with you to help you get some ideas down on paper at least. Some of these will take a few minutes to complete, but obviously the field research, it will take more time to plan and carry out. I mean, there's really a lot to learn about observations and interviewing and writing about what you've discovered, and so hopefully these activities will help support your learning on how to do this. I think one of the most important things, this is kind of a side note, is keep a written record of your invention, of your brainstorming, because I think you'll need it when you start drafting your essay. So, I mean, one of the best ways to think about an appropriate subject is to list any possible subjects. List possible subjects and choose one to explore. I already mentioned, I think I mentioned about half a dozen at the beginning part of this lecture, and you may already have, a subject in mind. Here are some of the, I guess, criteria that you want to keep in mind as you're choosing a possible subject. The first one is whether it's a person, a group of people, a place, activity, whatever. This should be a subject that you can gain access to in the time allowed for the assignment, for researching and writing the essay, writing the ethnography. So the most important one is probably time. Make sure that you have access and have enough time. You want to choose something in which you can conduct an in-depth interview with someone. So you're going to have to carve out some time to conduct this interview. You want to choose a subject that you can find, relevant background information on. If you need to do some historical research, that you'll have time to do it, and that you know that information is somewhat accessible for you. I think you want to choose a subject that you might already have some kind of special insight about, or at least have some strong ideas, or I think what really works best in this assignment is you have a strong curiosity about this group. And then, of course, you always got to think of your readers. What do you think your readers will find interesting and informative? For this assignment, since we're moving into some longer assignments, I'm not going to be the only person reading and evaluating your work. You're going to be sharing these with your peers. So, and you'll be responding to each other's work. So keep that in mind. What do you think that other students in this class will find interesting and informative? So, some ideas. I think, like I said, I already mentioned a few, but some other possible subjects. So keep them, maybe some community-related subjects. A civic organization. I think I'd mentioned like your if there's a facility around that looks interesting, like a church or other religious organization, maybe even an office building or store, perhaps. The facility itself seems interesting, or any other kind of place where people come together because they're the same age or gender or ethnic group. For example, like a foreign language group, or any other kind of club, perhaps. That seems interesting to you, or maybe you know someone who is a community leader, or a volunteer, or an elected official, perhaps. that might be somebody worth, at least interviewing and then see what kind of group they involve themselves in. Also think about, career or work-related subject. Maybe the field, career field that you're interested in. Maybe there's a professional organization, or maybe even a campus club, or maybe your instructors on campus can help you out with that. Any other kind of group where people are trained for a certain kind of work, maybe even activities on campus performed by a department, program, or club. A place where you could learn more about the kind of career you'd like to pursue, perhaps. A person already working in that career, or people working together for a particular purpose, like scientists collaborating together on a research project, or students and teachers working together to prepare for, some kind of competition, or if some of you are involved in the arts in some way, how that works together. And of course, you can always search the web, I suppose. You can look at the UAA website, for example, for intriguing places or activities or people or programs. You can even look at the city or the state website, your city website, or the state website for again interesting places or people. You could use Google, I suppose, but you'll get so many responses. You'll probably find you're spending more time than you want to sifting through Google. But I don't know, you might even find something on Facebook, actually, come to think of it, or even through Twitter. So if you got a list, a couple ways to help you finalize your choice for this ethnography. One, again, remember the thing about access. Make sure you get access to the place or the activity that you want to observe, or the people that you want to interview. Observing some places and activities may not require special planning, but interviews almost always require some kind of advanced scheduling. I don't know, sometimes you may need to go to the place to get some kind of permission before you just show up at the meeting or the activity. You do want to probably make sure, or when you're making these arrangements, it's okay to explain that your project is for class, and of course why you are interested. You're not just interested just to get a good grade, because that would not make you look very good in front of this group. But I think you'll find that most people tend to be surprisingly generous with their time, very eager to help students. Be prepared for the occasional refusal, but please always make an effort to be polite, dress properly, come on time, be professional when you are making these arrangements. For sometimes, depending on the group, you might need to get permission from somebody in authority. I am recommending that you take on the role of participant observer. So if you're new to the subject, ask, or new to the group, ask for permission to take part in a small way for a limited time, perhaps. If you're already an insider, ask whether you should assume your regular role, or ask if it's okay that you step back to just observe. Just kind of feel it out. All right, and then the third thing is you should explore, and you've done this a little bit already with some of the readings, is explore your preconceptions about the subject, about the group. What do you already know about the subject? And this is going to be part of your ethnography topic memo that you'll be doing this week. So, what do you already know about the subject? Let's see, let's get some bullets. Okay, here we go. How can you define or describe it? And then again, this is before you've done any research or have made any kind of observations. These are just informal responses to what your preconceptions may be.